In today's video, we're going to talk about the 4 numbers you need to improve your golf swing. These numbers are going to guide you into exactly what you need to be working on to fix a slice, to fix a hook, to fix a block, to fix a pull. These numbers are the key metrics to helping you take your golf swing to the next level. Let's dive into it. All right, I'm on shot analysis here, and at the bottom, I've selected 4 numbers. There's 5 numbers up here because we want to know carry, but there's 4 main numbers you need to know. First number is club path. Club path is the direction your club head was moving in reference to the target line that you've set. This white line in the middle of the screen, that's your 0. So anything right of this line is positive, anything left of that line is negative. But this is measuring this number at impact, at maximum compression. Then you have face angle. That's where the club face was physically pointed at impact. So if the club face was closed, it'd be negative. If the face was open, it'd be positive for right-handed golfer. If you're left-handed, it'd be opposite. Then you have a number called face to path. Face to path is this difference between your face angle and your club path. Now this number is important to understand because once you understand face to path, you can understand why the ball curved the way it did. If you get a negative face to path, if you're a right-handed golfer, you're gonna see a shot that moves from right to left. If you see a positive face to path, you're gonna see a shot that moves from left to right. Now, we'll talk about the why here in just a minute, so make sure you stay tuned on the why that is, but I first want to get you that number so you understand it, but then we'll go into deeper here in just a little bit. Next, you have spin axis. Spin axis is the tilt of the golf ball. I want you to imagine this golf ball had wings like an airplane, okay? And if it has a negative spin axis, you're gonna see it tilt to the left, you'll see a negative number. That means when you hit the shot, your club face and your path produced a ball that got off its spin axis of 0 and made it curve left, which would make the ball curve from right to left. Vice versa, if you have a positive spin axis, you tilted the ball this way and it started to curve to the right. Now, that doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed. A negative spin axis is a ball moving from right to left. A positive spin axis is a ball moving from left to right. Now, the reason why that's important to understand is you're gonna start looking at your club data and you're gonna start understanding what it did to the golf ball. If you can understand what your club did to the golf ball, you can then fix the club data to make the golf ball fly the way you want it to. Now I'm gonna hit a few shots so I can demonstrate how these numbers work and how you can use it to fix your golf swing. Stay tuned to the end. I'm gonna give you some bonus drills that'll really make a difference. Whether you have TrackMan or even you don't have access to TrackMan, these drills are gonna be essential to taking your swing and your game to the next level. Let me hit some shots. All right, now I'm gonna hit a couple shots here, and then as I'm hitting shots, I'm gonna start explaining these numbers and how it affected the ball flight. And then we're gonna talk about how you can change these numbers. And once you learn how to change these numbers, you can then change your golf swing. Pretty decent shot there. All right, a little bit of a draw. Now let's talk about why the golf ball did what it did. As you can see on the screen here, I have a club path of positive 2.2, a face angle of negative 0.6, so pointing a little bit to the left. My face to path was negative 2.8. I had a spin axis of negative 4.2. Now, let's understand these numbers. Club path is the direction your club head was moving in reference to the target. If I set an alignment rod down, and I point this right at the target, that means my club is moving in to out 2.2 degrees to the right. Out to in would be this way. Down the line would be right here. So I was moving in to out 2.2 degrees. My face was pointed negative 0.6. So it was pointed slightly left of the target at impact. So my path was moving this way. My face was pointed slightly left at impact. To understand those two numbers now, we need to understand that face angle has a 75% influence on the starting direction of your golf ball. It has a 3 times greater influence on the starting direction of your golf ball. So club path is important, but where the ball starts is controlled by your face angle. That is key. I need you to understand that, because if you don't understand that, then you can't fix ball flight. Face angle is the most important here. Now, the relationship of where these two numbers are going, club path and face angle, is important to the curve of your shot. We'll discuss that here in a second. but understand face angle controls the starting direction of your golf ball. Now, if you take your club path and your face angle and you take the difference of those, that equals your face to path. If you do the math there, that's going to equal your face to path. My face to path was negative 2.8. If you remember, if you see a negative number, that's a ball moving from right to left. Doesn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed. If you see a negative number there, that is a right to left. That means your face angle was pointed left of your club path at impact. So your club is moving this way, but my face was pointing this way. It's pointing left. That's why it's negative. And again, if it's a negative number, you'll see a right to left. If it's a positive number, you'll see a left to right. Now finally, let's look at spin axis. The spin axis is a negative number. Just like wings on an airplane, because it's negative, it's tilted to the left. Positive would be to the right. So because of my path moving to the right, because my face was closed left of that, it put the ball's spin axis tilted this way, 4.2 degrees negative. That created a right to left shot. So the relationship of my path and face created the curve. The ball starting on line and a little bit left was because of the face angle. Once you understand that may take a minute. I'll hit a few more shots. You'll start to understand here in just a moment. But that's the why. Now, what I want to do is I want to hit a shot that curves a lot, because I want to explain that the smaller your face to path, the less the ball will curve. The bigger the face to path, the more it'll curve. So the bigger the separation between where your club is moving and where your face is pointed, the more the ball is going to curve. So if you want to hit straighter shots, we have to get your path and your face closer together. And that alone will affect your spin axis and get the ball to curve a lot less. Because the goal is to get the spin axis as tight as possible. You know, the number kind of depends on what you want. Honestly, that's a pretty good shot. So if you can keep it under -5, you're not going to see the ball curve just a crazy amount. Now, you're going to notice though, the bigger that number gets and the longer the shot is, the more the ball is going to curve. Okay, so let me hit another shot here that curves a lot so you can see that if you're hitting a big slice or you're hitting a big hook, what these numbers look like and how it's affecting your golf ball. In this swing, I'm going to mimic somebody that has a slice, so I'm going to swing significantly left with an open club face, which is what slicers do. So I'm going to come over the top with an open club face. Now that should be a pretty good little slice there. Okay, that definitely curved almost 15, 16 yards. That wasn't crazy, but it did have a big effect. And you're gonna see it in the numbers here. Now, as you can see displayed on the screen, you're gonna see that I had a club path of -7.8. So that's a club path moving from right to left over the top. And then I had a face angle of 2.5, which means my face was pointed 2.5 degrees right of that line on the screen or of the target. So there was a big separation there. I was 7.8 degrees left with a wide open club face. You're gonna see that created a face to path of 10 degrees. Remember, the bigger that number, the more the curve. And as you can tell in the spin axis, I had a positive 11.7 spin axis. So that means that ball really tilted this way and really created a lot of curve. Now, why? Again, it's the big separation between where your club is moving, club path, and where your face is pointing, face angle. To fix this shot, we would need to move our club path more to the right, closer to 0. 0 is not desirable, but closer. And we would need to get our club face from being so far right and bring it back to the left. If you can conceptualize that and if you can understand that, you can make any change you want in your golf swing to correct ball flight. All I have to do to correct this shot is this next swing, I'm going to swing more in to out, and I'm going to square up the club face, and you'll see it going from a slice to a really, really straight shot. I should be a little tight draw. Should end up a little bit left of the target line. Okay, this actually drew a little bit more than I thought, so let's understand the why. So I went from a slice to a draw. My club path was positive 1.8. My face angle was -2. My face to path was -3.8. So it was a little bigger number there, not crazy. And it created a spin axis of 6 degrees. Now, what was the problem here? Well, the problem was my face angle. My club path was just fine, but my face was 2 degrees closed. If I'd have got that closer to 0, okay, if I'd have got it to just -1, somewhere right in there, that would have been a pretty decent shot. Now, this wasn't a terrible shot. I only hit it 7 yards offline, but that's the why it went left. And as you can tell, the separation between my path and face created a spin axis of So yeah, let me go this way here, -6 degrees. So if you're an over-the-top player, then what you need to do, if you're right-handed, you need to go from having an out to in path to a in to out path first, or if we're talking about numbers, if you can get it under -4.5 and get it closer to 0, if you can get it under that -4.5 and no greater than +4.5, you can get that range and you can keep your club face 2.5 degrees negative or positive, your golf balls are going to be flying fairly straight. That's important. Now, if you're a golfer that's stuck, meaning that you have a really positive number, then you need to get your club path from being stuck in here to more down the line and swinging a little bit, probably more left, or you just need to get that club path closer to under 4.5 with a club face of +2 to -1, somewhere -2, somewhere right in there. When you do that, you'll correct your big hook or your big block, and you'll start to hit straighter shots. Now, I'm going to segue into what is a block and what is a pull, and then we're going to jump into the bonus items, so stay tuned here. So a push is when your path and your face are both to the right for a right-handed golfer. Okay, so let's just say +2 path and a +2 face. Because there's not a separation and your face to path will be 0, the ball's not going to curve. But because your face is pointed right, it's going to be a straight push. Vice versa, if you had a -2 face and a -2 path, the ball would start left and it would stay left straight. Because the face to path, there's no separation, the ball's gonna fly dead straight. Now, this is all assuming center contact. There is a thing called gear effect, which I'm not gonna get into in this video. Gear effect is when you start hitting it offline towards the toe or towards the heel, you'll start to get curving of the golf ball, even though those numbers are essentially the same. But in this video, we're not going to get into gear effect. All this is assuming center contact because I want you to understand these numbers. Finally, I want to end with some bonus items of showing you how to correct your path on your golf swing. I'm going to use a tool that's actually going to help me correct those. It's just an alignment stick. So let me grab those and let me show you how you can use them. Right here, I have an alignment stick. This is called Swing Mason. You can get it on Amazon. It's a really cool tool. It allows me to stick alignment rods in here so that I can use it to correct path or to hone in my path, whatever you want to use it for. If you're an over-the-top player, meaning the club's moving out this way, we need to work on the club coming more from the inside. We're going to set this stick on a plane that allows me to learn that the club's got to come back underneath and not over the top of that line. So set a stick like this at an angle, but the same angle as your shaft, a little forward. You'll need to test and make sure that you're not just going to come over the top and just whack it every time, or even if you come from the inside and whack it. So start far away and slowly inch it in, and you'll start to notice instantly it'll start affecting these numbers, especially your club path. So you'll just make a swing here, and then you'll look at the club path numbers. That's definitely going to be in to out. Okay, I had a positive club path of 3.4 degrees to the right, as you can see down in the bottom left tile here. Again, if I had a stuck from the inside swing, then we would flip this. I would put it right here, and this would encourage me not to come from the inside too much. Again, you set it at the same angle as your shaft at address. You put it as close as you want or you feel comfortable with to encourage you not to get stuck. That way you come more down the line and you swing left. So this will encourage me to swing a little bit more to the left to get more down the line. That's definitely not going to be positive 3.4. It's going to be closer to 0, maybe negative. Okay, that was 0.8. So I went from 3.4 to 0.8. So this will stop you from coming from the inside. If you put it on the other side, that'll stop you from coming over the top. Give these drills a shot along with using these TrackMan numbers, and you will change your golf swing forever. As you can see, these numbers on TrackMan are so powerful to having a massive influence on fixing your golf swing. You can fix it on your own for the most part if you just understand the numbers. Take some time, hit shots, watch the ball flight, go back over this video a couple times. I know it's a little bit of a brain teaser at first to understand these numbers, but once you understand them, you don't even need TrackMan. You can get on the range and already know your numbers as you hit them. When I go on the range now, I already know my numbers pretty close. I at least know the relationship, so I can describe why the ball did what it did. And it's really easy for me to make adjustments on the range to correct ball flight. If you want to come give this a shot right here at Texas Wedge, go to texaswedge.golf/book now, schedule an hour and a half, and come grind on your swing and learn these numbers. It's gonna make a difference. Again, it's texaswedge.golf/book now. If you're not local to West Texas and you're just watching this video to learn more about TrackMan, I hope this was helpful. Leave a comment down below. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have a new video coming out every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hope to see you next time. Peace.